so excited for everyone to get this in their hands, in Protect Your Peace, right? There's 9 unapologetic principles for thriving in a chaotic world, which is what we are in. I want to talk about a few of the principles because you say, demand your worth.
Yeah,
Demand your worth.
absolutely.
How do we do that, Trent Shelton?
I was going to go with know your worth, but I want to be more unapologetic in the book. And I'm in a season where, I'm demanding my worth, and demand seems so like harsh, but the truth is, if you don't demand your worth, you're never going to get your worth. And so that looks different from business. That looks different from personal life. What I know is true is most people in this world, and I've been here so many times in my life, their worth is connected to something outside of them. And I'm sure in Worthy, like this, like their worth is connected to how a person feels about them, right? We can say social media, how I'm doing in my business, like these things are controlling how they feel about themselves. And that is mission impossible. If you're trying to feel worthy, if you're trying to feel lovable, likable in yourself, it's always a roller coaster because you're dependent on the algorithm to make you feel worthy. You're dependent on how somebody sees you to make you feel worthy. And so what I've learned, and I talk about in demanding your worth, is first determining what are the puppet masters in your life that's controlling your worth. A puppet master, obviously, is somebody who controls how you feel. So you have to cut the strings and say, as we said earlier, I'm worthy because of something that's foundational that doesn't change. I'm worthy because of this is how I was created to be. I'm worthy because whatever you want to put in the blank. And so that's the first step, because when you understand your worth, then you feel unapologetic for asking for it. And so when people try to put a price tag on my life, whatever that is, as a speaker, as this or that, and they try to make me feel wrong for saying, oh, well, you don't deserve this. No, I know what I deserve. I know what I've been through. I know what I've gotten through, and I know my talent. I know my gift. So I'm going to demand my worth. And if my worth is not seeable in your eyes, then go find another person. And so that's from business. That's in relationships. I see so many people in this world, they shrink. They shrink instead of expand. They shrink to fit in. They shrink to find a relationship. They shrink to, not offend. And it's like, why? Because if you don't demand your worth, the world will tell you what your worth is. And the last time I checked, that's not a good price tag. And they usually put you on wholesale.
Okay, for the person though saying like, Trent, how do I do it? How do I demand my worth?
Yeah.
How do I do it? How do I know my worth? How do I demand my worth? How all of that is so good. Yes. And when the world tells you the price and when they put you on wholesale, sometimes we believe the lie that we are wholesale.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
believe it. Then we think, well, maybe that is what I'm worth. And maybe I am wholesaled because that's what that someone told me.
Yep.
How have you gotten to this place? Or you've always been there?
No, I haven't.
Your faith.
I haven't always been there.
Yeah.
I've gotten used and abused a lot. I haven't always been there. And I've realized that in lowering my worth, and I believe this, I believe settling leads to suffering. And every time I've settled in my life for something, suffering was in the near future. So if I settled in business, if I settled in my personal life, suffering was coming for me. And so I made a commitment to myself to never settle. And even if it's hard, because sometimes, loneliness or, want or temptation makes us settle for less. And for myself, I realized that every time that I've accepted less in my life, it put me in a bad place. Every time I didn't stand on my worth and demand my worth, it put me in a bad place. And so I just got tired of being used. I got tired of being empty. And sometimes you just got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And what the world's going to try to say to you is, oh, you're full of yourself. What the world's going to try to say to you is, who do you think you are? What the world doesn't know, everything that you've been through and survived through and got through just to get you to where you're at. So my worth isn't just coming from La La Land. My worth is coming from everything that I put in the work and I went through in my life. And it's come from ultimate permanent worth, how God feels about me and my belief. So I refuse to let him, them, anything tell me what I'm worth. How can you tell me that? You're not me. You don't live my life. And when we talk like this, people kind of be like, oh, why are you talking like that? It's because if I don't value me, if I don't protect my worth, then I'm going to live a life full of settling. And I know for sure what's in the future. It's regret. I've had enough conversations with people who are older, and the number one thing they say is, Trent, grandmother told me this, Trent, know your worth, demand your worth. Because when you get to my age, you're going to realize that you have lowered yourself for people that ain't even here no more. And you live in regret the rest of your life. And regret is the greatest poison to the soul. So I refuse to live in regret. So if I have to miss out on a thing because I don't fit in their scenario, I'm okay with it. It's not for me. There's something down the line better for my life. So sometimes when you don't know your worth, you will never get to the thing that is meant for your life because you're taking every opportunity and you never actually get to the opportunity that's really meant for you. So that's helped me a lot get the right things in my life.
Settling leads to suffering.
Yeah.
Woo.
At least in my experience, it
Yeah.
has, for sure.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. I'm listening to you thinking about so many things right now. So many things. I'm like, that is true. That is true. And I think so many of us can relate to that. We've like shrunk ourselves to fit into places.
For sure.
Because we just wanted to be there or be included or feel wanted.
Yeah.
Feel wanted.
That's right.
But your self-worth is your ceiling. And what I love so much is you're saying you set the ceiling.
That's right.
You set the ceiling. Do not let other people set the ceiling or the outside world or any of that. There are 9 principles in this book.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to make sure everyone gets the book because it is so incredible. And aside from what I've talked about so far, I just want to say, is there one that you want to call out right now that just feels on your heart to speak into somebody today who is listening, who needs to learn to protect their peace in their life?
The principle is simplify happiness. And there's a saying that says happiness works off of what's happening. And I agree, but that's external happiness. I don't believe internal happiness works off of what's happening. It's a choice that you make. Some people call it joy, but it's a choice that you make to say, I'm going to choose to be happy. But a lot of us, our happiness is in the hands of all those things we just talked about. I'm going to be happy when they love me. I'm going to be happy when they accept me. I'm going to be happy when everything goes right. And that is a disaster for your worth. And so what I've learned is to simplify it. If you look at most people's happiness checklists on what it takes to be happy every day, Lord, it's like a million things, right? I gotta wake up on time. The Starbucks line gotta be short, right? It's this and this and this. And like, you have to check off all these boxes to be happy. And a lot of people in this world, we complicate happiness. And happiness is such a simple thing. Happiness is an internal job that can come from ourselves. And I know it's easier said than done when you have so much chaos around you, but peace says, no matter the chaos around you, I'm not going to let it kill the calm inside me. Peace says, yeah, the storm exists. It does. But guess what? The storm is going to pass. And so I would challenge everybody listening to us. How can you make happiness so easy to obtain that you had no choice but to be happy every single day? And maybe not the whole day, but the moment. I have a little area in the book and it's called Morning Marley. Marley's my daughter. And I realize this, as we get older, we complicate it a lot more, and I'm guilty of it. And I'll never forget Marley. I'm sure you had this happen with your kids. Marley comes in the room at like 7 a.m. Sun rises up. She opens up our blinds. I'm tired. And she's singing a song. It's morning time. And she's so happy that it's morning. And the first thing I wanted to say is, Marley, go back to sleep. But I caught myself. And I said, wow, she's happy because it's morning. Trent, when's the last time you've been happy that you woke up and that it's morning? Or you need some great thing to happen for you to be happy. When she brushes her teeth, she has the brush your teeth song. She's happy to brush her teeth. And so if we get back, I believe this is why God tells us to be childlike. Because when we get away from being childlike, we start to have all this complication around what brings us joy, what brings us happiness. Go look at a kid. A kid, they can hate you 1 second, love you in 2 seconds later. They're quick to forgive. They find happiness in simplicity. Playing outside, playing in the bathtub. Like, at what point in our life as grown-ups that we start becoming so cold and so boring and so, just so tight with life? And so I love that principle because I really feel like it can open up your life to more simplicity and experience more peace in your life if you just learn how to say, what do I need today just to be happy? And that question has literally changed my life.
How does Marley's song go in the morning?
It's morning, it's morning, it's morning, something like that, right? And then her brush your teeth, it's time to brush your teeth. Like, yeah, that whole song. And I love it, right? Now I love it because I said, wow, when did I get away from being appreciative? And a lot of us aren't happy because we spend our whole life chasing the next thing, more and more and more and more. And trust me, it's hard when you're in a position you have people to take care of. But it's more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And the world programs us for that. And so this book and the message of protecting your peace is like slowing down and being loyal to your pace. Right? What's the pace setter in your life? You know what a pace setter is? Right? When you run a race, there's a guy or a girl who sets the pace to keep you in pace in your race. Like, I would ask, like, who are the pace setters or what's the pace setter in your life? And for me, it was the wrong things at times. It was scarcity that was setting the pace. It was pleasing people that was setting the pace. It was comparison that was setting the pace. And all that did was burn me the heck out. And so now my pace setter is peace. Now my pace setter is confidence, knowing that I'm running the race that is meant for me to run. And to some people, I might look like a turtle. To some people, I might look like a rabbit. But I'm okay at this pace because I understand the lifestyle and the life that I want to live. So, yeah.
Do you feel like if peace is your pace setter, you can still arrive through your life and at the end of your life in alignment with your assignment and reaching your full potential of who God created you to be?
1,000%.
Because I think we believe the lie, if I have peace and that's my pace setter, I'm going to lose my ambition. I won't do, you're saying, no. Right? Because so many of us are driven by the things we're told will make us feel enough, which is achievement. And so we are burnt out. We are stressed out. We are arriving at one achievement after another, empty, still feeling like something's missing because we thought that would bring our worth and it did not. And most of my life, Trent, I just thought, if I am chill, I'm not living up to my potential. And that's actually a lie. It's actually a lie. If you protect your peace, if peace is your pace setter, you can still, and probably, maybe perhaps the only way to live in alignment with your assignment and become the person you're meant to be, like all of who you're meant to be, because you're not starting wars within yourself. You're not getting distracted. You're not getting taken out, and you're not running on a treadmill so hard you get burnt out.
See, peace is not just an earthy, I'm disconnected from everything.
Right.
Like, peace is flow.
Yeah.
Peace is in the zone. Peace is taking care of your business. I'm at peace in my business because I take care of my business.
Yeah.
It's the basketball player that's shooting the free throw with 2 seconds left, and they're at peace at the free throw line. Why? Because of all the preparation, so that I can be at peace in this moment. So there's a whole approach holistically to experiencing peace. I can't be at peace if I'm not taking care of my business. I can't be at peace if I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do. And so a big part of me protecting my peace is making sure I'm prepared, is making sure I'm efficient, is making sure I'm intentional, is making sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do so I can lay my head down at night and saying, man, I did what I needed to do today. I could be at peace. So I wanted to share that part for sure.
That's so good. And peace isn't letting off the gas. It's
no.
like driving towards the right
Sometimes it's
thing.
pressing on it.
Yeah.
Harder.
Just driving to the
for
right
sure.
thing. Just
Absolutely.
driving to the right thing.
Absolutely. And some people will think like there's two experiences of me. I always say there's the protect your peace Trent, where people are like, man, Trent's in his own zone. And they see like the athlete side where I'm pressing the gas, but it's all of those things. But it's also knowing, like in a race, you know your pace. Sometimes you got to run faster. Sometimes you got to slow down. But you can't look at the next person and say, oh, I should be running faster because the person in year 15 is doing this, so I'm going to do it. The person that started the podcast, 10 years ago, I'm expecting to get the same amount of downloads, so I'm going to do all the things. And we sit here and we compare ourselves. And it's like, no, this is my journey. This is my journey that I'm on. And sometimes it's going to be a season of busy, a season of dad, a season of everything, but I'm still at peace because I'm loyal to my pace. So when I need rest, I rest. When I need to go, I go. And I'm okay with that because I know at some point the finish line that's meant for me to cross will be there. And it might not look like the next person's finish line, but I'm okay with that. So that's a big part of knowing your worth. It's a big part of being confident in who you are, a big part of knowing that what God has for you has for you. That's a big part because if you don't, you're going to think that I'm supposed to be doing all of these things. Not that you can't get influenced and motivated by someone else, but that's still their life. That's still their journey. So I might not have that or have this, but I have what I need, and I'm okay with that. You will always be not enough for the wrong people or person. We build relationships these days, I feel like, off of the weakest things. And no wonder when we go through trials and tribulations, things crumble. If you don't demand your worth, the world will tell you what your worth is. The last time I checked, that's not a good price tag. And they usually put you on wholesale.